Hello everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys a pubcast here. Gonna be watching a low-skilled game. It should be an interesting watch. I am kind of curious to see how things go, and I'm going to do my best to tell you guys why things happen the way they did, and generally point out a lot of mistakes. Once again, if I wanted to watch a professional player play the game really well, I would go do that and enjoy it. But if I'm looking for something that is going to allow me to point out mistakes and teach you guys something more easily, I think low-skilled players are going to be the way to do it. So I'm going to be watching this game here, and we can go over the heroes and the players, and those all get rounded out. But thanks, guys. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it a whole bunch. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see more of in the future. I am setting up. I do have a player interview set up, but I'm just waiting for them to get their schedule aligned with mine so that we can get that going. So that should be coming up in the next day or two. I do like doing those very much so, and they're very easy to do as well. So I can promise that you will be seeing more of those in the future with lots of top players and fun people. So, but let's jump into the game here for the Radiant team. We have T-Tox on the Bloodseeker, Mackle, is that right? Mackle's on the Bounty Hunter. Skilled Newbie is on Lifestealer. We'll see, man. Shadow Siege is playing Sanking. Pimp Modi on the Necrolane. For the Dire team, we have Omni is on the Vengeful Spirit. Towards the bot lane, Spo, whatever you want to call him. Romleth is on Tiny. We have Disclip Led Leo. Disclip Lee? Disciple Lee, that's what it is. Disciple, sorry, just Disciple. Man, it gets so confusing when people capitalize their stuff in weird places. And he's going for a Ironwood branch start. Where's his money? Where did he put his money?
30 seconds to battle.
I have no idea where this guy's money went. Alright, Romleth is playing the Tiny. I don't know if he repicked or something. I know you can now repick now, but not quite sure. Anyways, I did try casting a fan submitted replay earlier tonight. It was about an hour long. It was literally the worst demonstration of Dota skill I had seen in so long. And I know anybody that's now sent their replay to me is being like, "Oh my God, was that my replay?" But don't worry, probably wasn't you. Anyways. The skill was so bad that I literally couldn't cast the game anymore. I casted 24 minutes of it, and I was like, nobody's going to want to watch this. And then I had to stop recording, and it was a sad day. But it was pretty funny. There was tons of auto-attacking, bad skill builds, stuff like that. There was an Enigma in the game that had Midnight Pulse, 2 levels of it by level 3, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do people do this so badly? But in this game, you might see similar stuff. We have a single Ironwood branch on the Witch Doctor, and no items anywhere at all. Absolutely no items. I'm really confused. Let me check the item graph at least. Is that going to give me any answers? Nothing. I don't know. Man. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, let's look at some lanes. For the Radiant team, they have a Lifesteal under Sand King. Kind of a weird lane here. Sand King isn't necessarily farm dependent. Lifesteal would ideally be wanting to get those last hits, but looks like he is actually trying for that, which is a little weird. Against him is a Pugnant eventually. Not a bad lane. Could be played pretty effectively. They're a double range. Venge picks up the Aura level 1. Not good. Going to be pushing here. 2 extra damage per melee creep. Range creep's also getting 2 extra damage. It's not a huge amount, but it's making a difference. And needless to say, stuns, man. Always get that stun. Stun level 1 always good. And she's going to pick up a wave of terror next. Apparently looking to push the crap out of this lane. Weird stuff. Get the stun, guys. It's really good. And it's going to kind of provide a very weird lane on the top lane there. Tiny's on the mid lane. He's going to be soloing against the Bloodseeker. He actually already picked up a Craigie Exterior. Not worth it at all. He's probably a little concerned about Bloodseeker because he's a melee hero or something. But, yeah, 6% chance to stun them. And it does give you armor, which is cool. But, dude, toss combo with Avalanche is really good. He's going to go for looks like a Belt Giant Strength first. He does have a Salve. We'll see when he pops it, though. Bloodseeker, very decent item build. It's probably recommended items. I wouldn't necessarily... I think getting either the Stout or the Quelling Blades is usually a little bit more safe, but that's okay. And on the bot lane, looks like it's actually a Necrolite and a Bounty Hunter dual lane, which is pretty bad. And that is up against a Kunkka as well as a Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor with a single Ironwood branch and nothing more. Who needs anything else? Am I right? Looks like he's going to do a random torrent trying to land on the Bounty Hunter, but he's pretty much staying very invis and going to get some free damage in on the Kunkka, who's most likely not going to die, but Bounty Hunter's going to be aggressive here and going to run into the tower range. There's another torrent coming from Kunkka. So I'm going to pop his salve and his clarity potion. Going to heal up from this. And Necrolite, decent item so far. Lots of tangos. Wow, 3 sets of tangos here on the Necrolite. And he's auto-attacking like a boss, dude. Guys, if you're gonna go Sadist build, you gotta get auto attacks, man. You get the mana if you get the last hits. If you're not gonna last hit, you should just go Death Pulse with 1 Heartstopper aura and a lot of stat levels, just to get your HP and your mana pool up. That's by far a better choice to go. Looks like Lifestealer just gets a kill, or gets killed on the top lane. No, no thanks to Vengeful Spirit's stun, so I don't really know how that happened. Going after the Sand King, there's a stun from the Vengeful Spirit, the Wave of Terror as well, but he is gonna survive this, I think. They're gonna catch up to him. I don't think so. No, he will survive there. Here's a random courier bringing some items through. Pugnet's going to be able to pop some tangos and heal on up there. And so far it's a 0-2 game. Bloodseeker being aggressive once again. And Tiny complete out of region. He's actually going to be going for Stun Craigie. Weird. I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, that's probably kind of cool. But then you have to think, like, he cannot stun toss combo. So he's really not that good. Yeah, cool, he's tanky and stuff, but nobody's going to turn and attack you. And sure, if somebody attacks you here, 24% chance in melee to get stunned for 1.2 seconds. But is that really worth it? You got that creep. Prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong. He doesn't have the mana for the toss anyways. Is it? I really wish this was a cool item build and worked, but it's not. It's not going to be like that. I'm trying to think of some weird way you could make it work, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So Mass picked up on Necrolite. He's going for a Urn of Shadows. Not a bad item. The mana regen will help him out a decent amount. Looks like Punka's still being pretty defensive here. He's completely out of regen. His HP is low, and the damage out of Bounty Hunter is probably pretty decent right now. 2 levels of Janata. Not able to get the Death Pulse off on the Kunkka. Looks like mid tower being pretty aggressive. That's actually a Maledicted Bloodseeker. What level are we looking at? Just a level 1. So he's probably, yeah, he's going to survive that, no problem. Level 1 Maledict does not do very much here. Tiny continuing to be ready to get those stuns, I guess. Not really sure. Lifestealer, no open wounds yet. Big mistake here. You've got to get the open wounds, man. It is so good. They could maybe be aggressive and kill this Pugna. Actually, they probably could. With 1 level of Rage and an open wounds. If they open wounds on the Pugna and got a follow-up stun, he could die definitely. He's going for a double bracer before boots. Now this is something that I used to make mistakes on is when I was a new player, but also granted at that point in the game there were very, very few early game items that were very good. So stacking, getting like a double Wraith Band or a double Bracer or a double Nil Talisman was actually a decent item build at the time. Or at least I thought it was. He's going to drop down the Netherward, it's going to reduce the mana. It does have a little bit of degen. They're not going to be able to cast this way, so it's kind of cool to see him actually using this early on in a dual lane like this. But it is going to push the creep wave back. Our aura is still level 1, and up to 2 stuns, and there's another stun from the Witch Doctor. He looks to be aggressive. Is he going to Maledict? Oh, he's going to miss it. There's the open wounds. Looks like he has actually picked up that skill. And Witch Doctor will squeeze on back, bleeding like crazy here. I don't know what kind of wounds were just open, but it looks painful as hell. He's got boots first. But he has been doing a little bit of roam ganking, which is kind of a nice role for him to do. There is Tiny some items for him. He's going to pick up his ulti at level 6. He's going to get really good last hitting power here. I would almost argue this is worth it against a melee hero like Bloodseeker. Hypothetically, if Tiny has decent regen, he can outlast hit Bloodseeker no matter what, because he's getting a plus 50 damage bonus here. So that's something that I would probably never argue you should be seeing in a regular game, but like it's really not that. Oh my god, is that a Blood Rage? Yes, Blood Rage on the neutral creep or the regular creep, pretty awesome stuff. But you know, if you can outlast the Bloodseeker while continuing to harass, he will not regen any HP. So could be kind of interesting to see something like someday. But Vengeful Spirit ganking with invisibility. She does have a Wraith Band picked up. It's going for a second Wraith Band. It's going to give her a lot of last hitting power, something she doesn't really need. But on the bright side, she will be able to have a little bit more mana and HP out of that as well. 2 levels of Vengeance Aura now, up to 20% damage bonus, and her stun is at 175 damage. Not a whole bunch. Are they going to be able to get a kill? Invis almost off cooldown. There it is, immediately going in the Wave of Terror as well. And the splash from Kunkka is going to score the kill. Nice follow up there. 1 hit on the Bounty Hunter, but he will go invisible as that happens. So, roaming, man. Dire Team roaming way heavy here. There's the open wounds. Nether Ward's on the ground, and Lifestealer's going to back off. He actually has a magic wand with 10 charges. I like this pickup. This is something that we see pro players go once in a while. Needless to say, this guy is a very skilled newbie, but if you do pick up the early magic wand like this and just let the charges build up, when that first gank comes, that is a huge heal on your survivability. And he's at 11 charges right now, for God's sakes. 11 charges, we're looking at 165 HP, and that is a big deal when your HP is this low. Now, he doesn't actually have any regen items yet, which is kind of a problem so far, but I do like the fast wand. on a couple of heroes. So he's actually going to pop that there, and he's going to heal back up. So that is his trade. He's looking maybe to do an open wounds chase on Pugna. I would actually like to see them dive this. Oh, God. He's got Caustic Finale max first. He does push well. Undeniably. 170 AoE every time one of those creeps dies, and it lasts up to 8 seconds. But the problem is his stun is just not low enough. Oh, there it is. He does get it off, and Pugna in some trouble. There's the stun now on Sand King. Sand King needs to go invisible. He might be within range, though. And Lifestealer continuing to chase here. A little low on HP, and now Tower's hitting him. Wow. Wave of Terror cleanup. Vengeful Spirit doing a good job. Double Wraithband picks up his Gloves of Haste. Not good. Don't get the Gloves of Haste first, guys. 15 attack speed is not very good. You could get a lot more utility out of something like a Belt of Giant Strength to get more HP. You could grab a Boots of Elven Skin to get more damage. Even on Vengeful Spirit, I would say that'd be okay. But I'm actually kind of... I think this Vengeful Spirit might end up carrying just because of his roaming that he's been doing so far. Tiny, still no treads. Is this his treads? Yes, treads and a tango. If you're middle, guys, Bottle is really good, especially on a hero like Tiny when his mana pool isn't very high and he does rely on that. He is level 7 now. His stun is max 300 damage. That's literally all he's going to be contributing here. Necrolite farm in the bot lane. 2 levels of Sadist now, and Bounty Hunter's also here still. But no treads on him. And it looks like the Radiant team actually does not have a Courier, which is going to provide to be kind of a problem here. There's some chain stunning. Wow, that was a lot of damage done to the Lifestealer. He should be raging right now, but he's not going to do so. And he could have popped his wand, but also didn't do that. But double Bracer on Pugna is pretty survivable. This is like the double stat item game. Holy crap. Double Bracer, double Wraithband. Vengeful Spirit taking more nukes. More hits at least. Witch Doctor has 3 levels of Stunno, 2 levels of Maledict. And this tower may actually go down by the time Vengeful Spirit comes back, and the creep wave is not going to be there. Pugna actually completely changing lanes. I don't know why he didn't just stay topping at the last hit, but Vengeful Spirit's going to grab that, and she will teleport all the way back to base. Picking up some power treads, and now sitting very dangerously, sitting very dangerous for the Radiant team at least. There's a Poor Man's Shield on Bloodseeker, very, very good item. He is an agility hero, so grabbing that is going to give him a little bit of damage, a little bit of armor, as well as that damage block, which is something that's very good for Bloodseeker. He's a pretty, he's a hero that kind of needs to tank and dive, so he still has not ruptured somebody yet, but with Pugna here, that could provide, or could prove to be kind of difficult. There will be a Bounty Hunter illusion at least, which is going to scare him back a little bit. It apparently does crit, and there's another ward getting dropped down, which is not really going to cause much of trouble. And there's the Avalanche from Tiny, thinking that was real, but Lifestealer going in. Roaming, ganking with the Lifestealer Hanuzi, man. There's the Rupture as well. Tiny looks to be in a lot of trouble. The Rupture will score a kill. I think he's just going to run to death here. Eats a Tango, and then, oh my god, that was lucky. He stopped to eat a Tango and then continued to run. Obviously does not know how Rupture works. Almost goes down, but did not. Vengeful Spirit getting another kill in the bot lane. It's going to be on a Necrolite, so far, man, Vengeful Spirit doing a really good job roaming. That makes a big difference, especially in bad games where there's no wards up, as you can see. 0 wards on the map, and most importantly, if you can throw a hero like a Vengeful Spirit and throw a stun in the lane where you're not expecting it, that makes a big difference. So, and once again, Kunkka apparently getting a kill on the Bounty Hunter with his splash at least. He's got pretty good bonus damage. So the things I want to point out here. So low level play here. People aren't necessarily playing their heroes the best. They don't necessarily have the best item builds, despite these not being horrible. They're not ideal, but they're not terrible. Ganking is a lot of it. Just showing up somewhere where the enemy doesn't expect you to be can be a big deal. Witch Doctor has done ganks. Vengeful Spirit has done a lot of ganks. Pugna has shifted. I think that was a slight mistake because top tower wasn't quite down yet. But once they did get top tower, I think that's fine to do something like that. That's going to be an epicenter burrow strike there, but not a good decision by Sand King. Did not get the stun off first. I mean, I know it would have been tough, but Bloodseeker now in a lot of trouble. Is he going to rupture before he dies? He needs to rupture. Oh my god, he silences him. He gets the lifesteal. He does actually survive from that, but the Maledict is going to score him the kill there. Yeah, it does. I was really surprised. Could have maybe killed the Witch Doctor, then rupture the Pugna, perhaps. Who knows? Necrolite not throwing the splash down. A little surprising here. Not to mention, why did they even switch lanes? I guess they're scared from dying on the bot lane. They're like, dude, I died bot. I can't be there anymore. And then they leave. It's very rare that that's actually the case, where you get outlaned so hard that you have to leave the lane. I've been there, man. It sucks. It just happened to me earlier this week. And there's the ulti going on the Vengeful Spirit. Not going to get the follow-up, though. And he will not die, even though the track is on. There's the nukes, and Bounty Hunter making another big mistake there. The avalanche damage is too much. Lifestealer jumping in the mix, but once again, he has no HP, just boots and a wand. No stout shield, nothing. No treads. His armor pretty low here, and he's taking big hits. Pugna is well looking in dangerous stakes. There's a haste on the top rune, on the top lane, top rune spot. That's what I meant to say. Haste on the top rune spot. Vengeful Spirit will grab that. Switching to Intreds. His HP still very low. Is he going to be looking for a stun? I wish Bloodseeker would just ulti this. The boat comes through. There's a stun now. And the Rupture goes down. Is she going to mess it up there? She does get silenced. Bloodseeker absolutely afraid there. And the Rupture damage. Is it going to do it? Bloodseeker's... Yeah, there it goes. Blood Rage ends up getting the kill. Oh, he actually does have Blood Rage maxed out. Oh yeah, I forgot. Damage is the same at all levels now. I forgot about that. But the duration is longer. 8 seconds times 20 is 160 damage. It's a decent nuke. With the Rupture alone. Rupture, kind of bad. Movement damage is very low, but... Kunkka now crashing a couple last hits here. It looks like Witch Doctor is the one that's pushing on the bot lane. Through a Cask recently, these creeps are stunned. And he looks like he's going for a Lothar. It's not a good item build. That's actually a Shadow Blade, sorry guys. Shadow Blade here. Most likely his item he's going for. He might be getting a Force Staff, which would be kind of cool, but... The reason low-level players like to get the Shadow Blade is they can drop their ulti and then pop the Shadow Blade. So they do go invisible, and there's no way to stun them, right? Right? Except for they have a Kunkka, they have a Tiny. Both heroes who have AoE disables. I'm sorry, that's the same team. For the Radiant team, Sand King could stun through it, and that's actually about it. And looks like Bounty Hunter's like, I'm going to hit you with 100 damage at a time and do it 85,000 times. There's a heal and the stun on Necrolite. He gets picked off immediately, and wow, big plays from Witch Doctor. That Cask... That was good. His ulti was bad, but that's okay. And Bounty Hunter's gonna die now. Here he comes. Goodbye, Bounty Hunter. Taking 112 damage. Smaldic must be pretty low level. Yeah, only level 2, but that was a nice play. Actually caught both of them there. That's a big deal. His Arcane Boot's also very, very good here. It's not the best because he doesn't have Voodoo Restoration. It also helps when you actually click the item when you're low on mana, but that's okay. And Tiny now with an Ogre Club, just stacking up strength. Not the best goal, but could be worse. Looks like Lifestealer making the same mistake. Gonna grab a Gloves of Haste before the stat item. Once again, I'll point this out every time, man, until they stop doing it. And it looks like Vengeful Spirit going straight towards that mechanism now. Does have the double Wraith Band, does have the Power Treads, does have the Magic Wand. If you're gonna do this, oh god, we'll talk about that in a second. If you're gonna do this, I would almost argue to just skip a Wraith Band, go straight for the mech. Wraith Bands are good. They're better on last hitting heroes, and Vengeful Spirit can profit from this because her aura is obviously very good at boosting up your damage based on your stats and things like that. But I would argue it's better just to, if you really want the stats, go to one Wraith Band, maybe get a Bracer or something instead, because it's a little bit more important for Vengeful Spirit to survive than it is to do a little bit extra damage or to have a little bit more armor. So that's usually the best way to go. Dire team forming up in the bot lane. There's actually a team fight here. We're going to see a swap on Sand King. He does get stunned. Is he going to be in trouble? The boat comes through, and that's going to clean up. Hits 3 heroes. Nether Blast as well, big damage. And Bounty Hunter doesn't do anything. And I'm pretty sure the entire Radiant team just has absolutely shit farm. The stun goes down. There's the Rupture. He's going to take damage. Yeah, they're just going to get cleaned up here. So let's look at the gold graph. So as of yet... Oh, that's funny. Well, it is 20-4, but... Alright, as of yet... Our Radiant team just getting completely owned. I hope they're gonna not just sit in base. I'm hoping they're gonna actually fight, but they've won their laning. They did some ganking. No player in here is really that great, but the main thing is the gold. And if we look at the gold, it's a huge advantage. 16k, or sorry, 10k. It's a 16 kill advantage, but it's only a 10k gold advantage. The Radiant team is gonna actually come out and try to fight this, but this is an absolute inadequacy of last hitting. Farm alone. I mean, both teams are pretty equally bad, I think. Witch Doctor's been doing some good stuff, and Vengeful Spirit has been doing some decent stuff, but as a whole, it's been pretty equal. Sand King's gonna get stunned, though. Here comes the chase. Will they get a kill? He has not died yet. Yes, ooh, a little bit of a waster by Necrolite, and he goes down. But they're still gonna clean up. Their gold advantage is just simply too high, especially when you only have 12k gold. They have twice as much farm as you. That is a superior number, and not something they should be fighting. But that's pretty much as an absolute lack of last hitting. Sand King's had some good ideas here, ulting and before doing burrow strikes, but never really want to max out Caustic Finale first. They didn't take advantage of their lanes. Their top lane could have done better. The Sand King and Lifestealer lane could have done something. Necrolite wasn't really ever aggressive enough. And he doesn't really have the right items for it either, so that's the main problem. There's the... Oh man, Torrent almost landing. Are we going to see the stun? He's looking for it. He's going to stun nothing there, but he is going to be able to block up on the Pugnet at least. There's the decrep. He's going to get a few hits in, and the boat comes through. He might actually survive from that. Oh my god, they're going to give up. He's going to run away. I can't believe it. He's going to survive. There's the nukes on Kunkka. They will get a... Oh god, get at least one kill. There we go. Sand King now runs away, and the easy rupture. Pugna's head just kind of falls off there. It's kind of funny. His head just falls off and the blood seeps out. Bloodseeker's like, hell yeah, free kill. Alright, so what was I going to point out that was bad? I think this was Pugna's item build. He does have a Ring of Aquila here, so... so far, he's picked up a double bracer, and then he got an Aquil, and now he has the Blades of Attack. It looks like he's going to finish Phase Boots, and then possibly get a Dagon, so... Cool. Dagon, Pugna, it works. It's not the best item build, but it works. But the Ring of Aquila, once again, you're spending money, yeah, it makes a nice item, and the mana regen is great for Pugna, but... First of all, Pugna has really high int gain. Basilius is a static mana regen, 0.65 mana per second here. He would probably... Alright, the balance is this. When you have more than 33 intelligence, a Sobi mask or a Sage's mask, guys, it actually benefits you more than the Ring of Basilius does. So buying this item alone, 50% mana regen is going to give you more mana per second than Basilius will when you have 33, which means that he's definitely over the point now where a Sage's mask would give you twice as much mana regen than a Ring of Basilius would. So at this point, it would be much better for him to actually grab a percentage mana-based regen item rather than the current item, rather than this Basilius. And furthermore, Ring of Aquila, yeah, for sure, you get extra stats from it, but Pugna doesn't really need the agility, and from there on, you know, he's getting 3 strength and 3 intelligence and 3 damage. Is it really worth it? It's probably not. So, and when he actually needs to end up selling an item, he's just going to be there a little bit faster because it does fill up your item slots so much. He's already got the double bracer. You don't really need the Wraith Band, and his stats are great and all, but he has literally a crapload of gold and 0 utility so far, other than now just getting the phase boost up. Witch Doctor using his stun to clear some creep waves. He does have the Shadow Blade, so he is hitting hard, plus 60 here, but once again, not much survivability. And there is stun, that is AoE on the Radiant team. I don't expect them to be talented enough to end up grabbing any kind of wards or dust or anything like that. So usually it will work in pub games quite well, but everything else still not looking too good for the Radiant team. They're kind of still messing around here. A couple small mistakes from the Dire team, but looks like Kunkka going for a Battle Fury. He will actually get it. He does have the money. He just needs the courier to come on the way. And still they haven't pushed it. Mechanism is finished on Vengeful Spirit. He has Agility Shreds now, doing more damage. His swap is going to be pretty dangerous, especially now he's level 11. And once again, Witch Doctor wasting his stun to clear a creep wave. That would have just died 5 seconds later anyways. He does have the mana to afford it, but it's still a pretty scary mistake to make, especially if you're about to be ganked. Which wasn't the case there, but... Bloodseeker going Force Staff first. Once again, not a good item choice. It's going to be better now that Rupture is level 2, but it's still pretty bad here. Plus 10 damage, plus 10 attack speed. I would actually kind of maybe even like to see him get a Shadow Blade, but I know it's not going to happen. He's going to run all the way up to the enemy line, and there's the X marks the spot, and the Torrent, and it's actually going to land. Nicely done. There's a stun from Witch Doctor now. Is he going to Maledict? It's going to completely miss. And he's kind of considering what he wants to do here, but there's a stun now on Sand King. Is he going to survive? He does get swapped. Go invisible, man. Just go invisible. Oh, he does go invisible, but he dies. Looks like he wanted to stun there, but the Netherward did score the kill on him. And Netherward just kind of rocking here for the Radiant team. There's the Rupture on Tiny. He's got his Aghanim Scepter finished. He almost ruptures to death. He was really trying hard to do it, but he's going to survive here. And is he going to run back? Yeah, looks like the tree is still glitched, which is pretty funny. Toss, still not leveled up, but who cares, man. And it looks like the Dire team's going to push on through here and score another kill. Are they going to be able to do it? Well, the Torrent's going to miss once again. Random Torrent. Battle Fury finished on Kunkka. Vengeful Spirit's animation looks awesome, I now realize. I've never really seen it before, but it looks really cool. They do kill the tower, 20, and they're running away. Run away! They're all alive, and we can't beat them. Right, come on, push, guys. Come on. I know you can do this. There's a Dagon recipe. Once again, Bounty Hunter spamming his mana to do the weakest ability possible. He's gonna do his ulti epicenter initiation, but the bounces are rough, and it looks like everybody's gonna get cleaned up as a result of having how much farm discrepancy? Less than half as much gold. That's what happens there. I kind of wish the Sand King would stun before ulting, but I understand. They do have a lot of disables here, so they're going to take it really, really easy loss. Good game. Well, it's not over yet. Kunkka calls good game, at least. He feels confident in his victory here. It's definitely a possibility. I think that's pretty safe to say, but we'll see.
has fallen.
Gonna clear out the creep waves, and Radiant team will be respawning. Necrolite is up. He's got an urn, man. What else does he need? He's got the Robe of the Magi. Holy crap, somebody on his team actually made the smart decision. Grab the side item before the Gloves of Haste. I assume he's not going to be making something like a Drum of Imminence or an Orchid. God, there's actually a lot of stuff that Robe of the Magi goes into. A lot of things. That's kind of ridiculous. 6 items right there. Once again, clearing the waves with the stun, and there's the nukes on the Pugna. Good reaction time from the Vengeful Spirit so far. Is he going to get a kill? Nether Ward, no swap, no swap, no swap. Sand King stuns, goes invisible. He did take one hit there. He gets torrented out. Not good for him. There's the blast. Pops his wand. That's going to keep him alive. The Bloodseeker trying to get a kill, but he's not going to grab it. Look at this Lifestealer. Treads wand. They just attack him. Necrolite cleaning up though, but pays for that one. Against the Battle Fury, Kunku's hitting really hard right now. Regen still. Oh, there was a gem. Gem on Vengeful Spirit, and he picks up Mithril Hammer. Vengeful Spirit, man. MVP. Noob MVP. I'm calling it right now, right here. He definitely played the best. Holy crap. That was really good. Alright, Bounty Hunter now getting stunned, and oh my god, he's getting hit hard. There's the Torrent once again, and he's gonna cut him in half. Just cutting him in half, no problem, man. He's gonna cleave on everything. He does have the Crystallis, giving him that crit chance, always pretty nice. And Sand King gonna use that level 4 Caustic Finale, finally to something really useful here, as the entire Dire team backs up. Now, they don't really have a lot of regen. Looks like Tiny's gonna be going for a Hood next. Kind of interesting, but I guess it will give him some decent survivability against the only damage dealers coming from the Radiant team, but all who are not really playing that great. Bounty Hunter still hasn't picked up any new items yet. A little surprised about that. Apparently has not been farming very effectively. Farming is definitely, I would not call this a farming game. This game is more like the battle of the mega noobs, but it's good to watch these once in a while, guys, honestly, especially for my position, because it makes me understand, first of all, like the mistakes. I mean, I'm getting semi-removed from really bad players. I mean, I play with my friends or whatever, like Twisco and stuff like that, and they're obviously not very talented, but looks like Bounty Hunter is on a ganking mission. He's like, I need a kill, and or he's feeding. We'll see which. There's a hit, there's the stun, and he might just be giving up. This looks like a feed here. Anyways, it's nice to watch really bad players because you do sometimes get a little bit too removed from where you came from and get a little bit too high and mighty. And it really does take a very long time to learn this game, and that's part of the problem, is that I can look at people and say, wow, why are you making that obvious mistake? But for them it's not so obvious, and I'm sure I made the same mistakes when I was a complete noob like 3.5 years ago or something like that, or maybe when I dabbled in Dota a couple times in high school, stuff like that, which is a long time ago. That was probably, yeah, it was like 10 years ago kind of a thing. I did play it a couple times there, but he does have a Hood of Defiance up. His armor levels are decent. His toss is still at max. Looks like he actually got a couple stat levels. He does have 2 levels of stats. His attack speed not that amazing, but that is okay. Maybe Wailing on the tower. Witch Doctor going for his Aghanim Scepter next. Once again, not the best item build, and Pugna going for an Aghanims himself, so kind of weird stuff all around. They didn't really need to take the Aegis there. I mean, they already had enough of a gold advantage. Bracer picked up with somebody else's. 4,500, double and a quarter, so that is a lot. 125% more gold than the enemy team. Bounty Hunter being really productive this game. Nice job, Bounty Hunter. He's going to make it in. He's in the race. They're going to find Necrolite. He's in. He's in, but he dies. Runs next to the tower. Does take a final hit. Really successful playing from him so far, sinking. I think it's time to speed up the replay. I don't know about you guys. Now we're going to see an epic team fight on the ball lane before this ends up rounding out here. Stuns come from the Witch Doctor. So yeah, their farm was bad. That's pretty obvious. 2k gold on Kunkka. Tiny owns trees. Holy crap. I'm sorry, owns buildings. Damn, dude. He's hitting moderately hard. Especially that Vengeur. Wow, that's actually a big deal. Something I've never thought about. If you want viable Tiny, man, throw a Vengeful Spirit with him. Get that aura maxed out. What about like a Venge? I would love to see a... I know, I did see CLG play a Tiny. That's Lotus team, previously XP. They did solo a Tiny, and they went for Aghanim Scepter eventually. But look at this. Vengeful Spirit Aura, 28% or 36% bonus damage. That's based on his primary. That's a lot of damage. That's a crap load of damage, actually. If you throw a Beastmaster in there as well, you could do some... You could literally go carry Tiny. You could do it, man. Carry Tiny. Black King Bar into Aghanim Scepter. Who even needs that other stuff? There's the boat, and they clear up the game. Did you guys know they were going to win? I didn't. I definitely did not know. Did they actually leave? No, they did not. They're all there. Bounty Hunter being a little bit of a temper tantrum, but that was a pretty one-sided stomp. But I mean, just absolutely inadequate last hitting. So this is like a very extreme example of how important farming is. I mean, it's so important there. They lost their lanes terribly. They got no last hits. 13 last hits on Lifestealer for a 27-minute game. That means every 2 minutes about he got a last hit. Like, it's like Christmas. It's like his yearly thing. Every year he's like, I'm going to get a last hit today. It's my birthday, you know, something like that. I can't believe they got so underfarmed, but just a very, very simple demonstration. I know this is a very low skill game, and I'm sure some of you guys are going to complain, why did you even cast this game? But winging it here, guys, and there's the video and some decent demonstrations. The roaming helped out in the early game. Their stats look amazing, even though all the players were pretty terrible, but that's okay. Once again, everybody's learning. They're going to get better from that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be bringing you guys some more videos tomorrow, and hopefully another player spotlight sometime soon. That would be good. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.